Today I'm going to show you how to turn an ordinary disposable camera into a low-powered stun gun. First, let's open up our camera. Remove it from the packaging. And here we go. You can see this has the button for the flash on the front. Now, carefully remove the cover using a knife. We want to make sure we don't damage the cover so we can replace it later. After a little bit of work, you should be able to slide the camera out from the cover. Next, we need to take the case apart. We need to use a knife to pry apart these little snaps. Every camera is going to be a little bit different, but just look all around the edges for these snaps and slowly remove them. You might have to give it a little muscle to get them apart. Once you get all of them taken apart, you should be able to pull the front away from the back. This is the flash capacitor. Make sure you don't touch this while it's charged. These two contact points here go to the leads for the capacitor. If you touch both of those at once with your finger, you're going to have a bad time. Now let's remove the battery. This will make sure we can't accidentally charge up the capacitor and give ourselves a nasty shock. Now we're going to use aluminum wire to make a couple small little probes that look like this. Then we'll take some magnet wire and remove the enamel from the ends. You can use a lighter to burn away the enamel, and then use some sandpaper to clean it up. Then wrap the magnet wire around the long end of the probe. Now we can solder the wire to the probe. And do the same thing on the second one. Now we need to line up the probes. We'll put the first one over here and attach it with some super glue. We'll use some pliers to line everything up so you don't get it on your fingers. And now for the second one. Clean up some of that extra. When it's done, it should look something like this. Now we'll remove the insulation from the other ends of the wires. Now we'll solder one wire to one contact point of the capacitor and the other wire to the other contact point. It doesn't matter which, but don't let your wires cross. Now put some electrical tape underneath the magnet wire for extra insulation. Now put a little bit of electrical tape on the switch. Pop the battery back in place. Then press the switch down and charge up the capacitor. Be extra careful not to touch the probes or any of the electrical circuit. Now we can test by shorting the probes on this metal. Oh, that was a good one. You can see the damage it did to the metal. After some experimentation, I decided to clip the probe ends off. It works better this way. Now put the lens back in place. Put the cover back on. It should just snap in place. Now we need to replace the cover. You can see I cut out these slots for the probes. Line everything up, and use a couple drops of super glue to glue the whole cover back together. Make sure the probes are aligned properly in the holes. Just a little bit of glue should be enough. Press everything tight and hold on to it till it sets. Now it's time to test. Let's charge up the capacitor. You should be able to hear that high-pitched whine and the light flashes. I'll do it again just to make sure there's no charge left in the capacitor. You can see that small shock. Let's try it on the side. Yeah, that would definitely hurt. So for under 10 bucks, you get yourself a disposable camera and you can turn it into a low-powered stealth stun gun. Just make sure you don't actually try to defend yourself with it. It's not going to work.